Boston Celtics season came to an end in a way that no one saw coming or wanted to see. After months of high hopes, dominant stretches, and championship talk, the curtain closed earlier than expected, and now all eyes are on what comes next. For a team stacked with talent, led by all-stars and deep playoff experience, the idea of off-season changes sounds drastic, but it might be exactly what's on the table. Rumblings around the league suggest that Boston's front office is seriously evaluating the current structure of the roster and might consider breaking up part of the core to reshape the future. And honestly, it's not just about performance, it's about business. Money talks, and the numbers are getting louder. Even before the disappointing loss to the Knicks, discussions about potential roster shakeups had already begun. When a key player went down with an injury, the writing was on the wall. Insiders hinted that big decisions were looming regardless of how the postseason played out. Now, with the early exit solidified, the Celtics officially step into a summer filled with uncertainty and tough calls. The financial side of things is brutal. A recent projection of Boston's payroll for the 2025-2026 season puts their total salary at a staggering $230 million. That's well beyond the second tax apron. And the penalty, massive. We're talking about luxury. Tax payments reaching up to $270 million, more in taxes than what they'll pay the entire roster in salary. That's just not sustainable for any organization, no matter how committed they are to winning. And when ownership sees red ink pouring off the books, tough decisions become inevitable. No matter how you slice it, the Celtics can't keep paying this kind of money and expect it to make sense. Even teams chasing titles have to be mindful of long-term financial health. That second apron is like a guillotine hanging over teams with stacked payrolls, and with the league's new collective bargaining agreement in place, there's less room than ever to maneuver. The CBA was meant to create balance, but for squads like Boston, who've earned the right to spend big by developing and trading smart, it feels like a punishment for doing things right. The Celtics didn't stumble into this talented roster. They built it piece by piece, trading for veterans like a dominant big man and a savvy point guard, handing out well-earned extensions and making deep playoff runs. And now, the very success they fought for is forcing them to reevaluate everything. The situation is clear. Someone has to go. With multiple players earning over $30 million annually and a couple of supermax contracts kicking in soon, the salary cap pressure is relentless. For a team that wants to stay under that second apron and avoid crippling penalties, moving at least one of their main rotation guys might be the only path forward. Analysts across the league are echoing the same sentiment. This could be a turning point for Boston. There's talk that 2, maybe even 3 of the top 7 players could be out by next season. Think of it as a transition year, with one of their key stars expected to miss all of the 2025-2026 season, including the playoffs. The Celtics may simply not have the firepower to chase a title. That alone might justify hitting pause, resetting the cap sheet, and loading up for a stronger run in 2026-2027. Honestly, that's not the worst strategy in the world. When your star isn't going to suit up, your odds shrink dramatically. And let's face it, the Celtics probably aren't winning a championship next year without him. So instead of pretending otherwise, why not make smart moves now? Build for what's next. Free up space. Stockpile assets. And when that star returns healthy, be ready to surround him with a new-look squad that's both talented and financially viable. Just look at the numbers. One player is about to earn $54 million with his new Supermax contract. Another will start making $53 million. A third player pulls in over $32 million, while a fourth is also north of $30. Even the bargain contracts on this roster, guys making around $10 million, still come with tax implications that could balloon Boston's total luxury bill by another $80 million. That's not just unsustainable, that's a red flag. And that leads to the big question: who gets moved? There are a few clear candidates, and rival teams are watching closely. One name that keeps popping up is a veteran guard with a $30 million expiring contract. That makes him attractive, not just because he can help a contender now, but because his salary comes off the books after the season. For teams looking to compete and stay financially flexible, that's gold. Boston could trade him without taking. back much long-term money, instantly lightening their financial load. But then there's Drew Holiday, a name that carries weight, a guy who's won titles, played high-level defense, and delivered in big moments. He helped this team go all the way in both 2023 and 2024, shooting nearly 60% from the corners during those runs. That's elite spacing, veteran presence, and a winning mentality all in one. But as much as the Celtics value him, moving, Drew might be the cleanest way to step under that tax apron. Right now, the Celtics are somewhere between $25 and $30 million over the line. Trading Drew, whose contract is both sizable and expiring, would create massive relief. And while nobody wants to see him go, especially considering how respected he is across the league, this might be the most practical option. The debate is heating up. Trade or keep Drew Holiday? That's the dilemma fans are chewing on. He's 34 years old now, and although he still plays top-tier defense, his offensive efficiency has dipped. Just a season ago, he was hitting 43% from deep. This year, it's down to 35%. That's not terrible, but it's enough for defenses to adjust and for front offices to take notice. In today's NBA, shooting matters a lot. And when teams start to sag off you because you're no longer a reliable threat, the entire offensive rhythm suffers. That said, Drew's reputation, his championship pedigree, and his leadership make him one of Boston's most tradable assets. Multiple league sources believe that if the Celtics make him available, offers will come flying in. He's not just another veteran guard. He's seen as a tone setter, a guy who can lead, defend, and fit into a winning culture. That's why teams like the Rockets and the Spurs are already being mentioned as possible landing spots. For Houston, adding someone like Drew could bring maturity and grit to a young roster. For San Antonio, he could be the perfect backcourt mentor to a growing core led by Victor Wembanyama. He offers more than numbers. He offers identity. Still, what does Drew want? That matters too. In a recent interview, he talked openly about how unpredictable life in the NBA can be. He acknowledged that trades happen and tough calls are part of the game, but he also expressed a desire to stay in Boston. He called the team the best in the league and said he hopes to finish his career there. At 34, that's a big statement. But when Jason Tatum returns in 2026 or 2027, Drew will be 36. Will he still be at a high enough level to justify a key role? That's where things get murky. While the focus has been on Drew, he might not be the only one on the move. Another name to watch is Kristaps Porzingis. He's on the books for over $30 million next season, and his contract is expiring. After missing 65 games since arriving in Boston and struggling in the playoffs with mysterious illnesses and subpar defense, Porzingis' value is under scrutiny. The team had high hopes when they brought him in, but the results just haven't matched the investment. His struggles protecting the rim, inconsistent rebounding, and health questions have left fans frustrated and analysts wondering if Boston will pull the plug. Moving Porzingis could help with the cap and clear a spot for a more reliable contributor. But again, it's about value. What can they get in return? Will teams bite knowing the baggage he carries? Then there's the Jaylen Brown situation. This one's tricky. He's locked into a 5-year, $286 million supermax deal with over $53 million due next season alone. He had a monster Game 5 against the Knicks, 35 points and 12 assists, but questions remain about whether he can truly lead a team as the number one option. There's been talk for years about whether keeping both Brown and Tatum on supermax contracts is sustainable. Can the Celtics build a deep, title-worthy roster around two players taking up so much of the cap? It's unclear. Some believe Brown should have taken on more leadership responsibility and that the front office should explore moving him if the right deal comes along, and that might already be in the works. Word is Boston's been active at the draft combine, looking closely at prospects and possibly exploring trade-up scenarios. They don't have many picks to work with, but pairing Brown with future assets could open doors. One analyst even floated the idea of a blockbuster trade involving a rising star who would slot in next to Tatum and reset the team's direction. If the price is right, Boston might just say yes. That brings us to the million-dollar question. Or, more like the $50 million question, is Jaylen Brown untouchable? Based on history, the answer seems to be no. A few seasons ago, Boston seriously considered trading him for a superstar, but backed out at the last minute. The fact that they even entertained the idea means they're willing to do it again, if the deal makes sense. Whether it's Drew Porzingis or even Jaylen Brown, the reality is that this roster will not look the same next season. Boston's cap sheet, injury timeline, and long-term goals are colliding all at once. And something has to give. As fans speculate and insiders dig for clues, one thing's for sure, the Celtics are stepping into one of the most pivotal off-seasons in recent memory. Before we dive deeper into what the ideal trade package might look like, or which young talents could be coming to Boston, we need to ask ourselves, how many starters will actually get traded? Just one? Maybe two? Could we see a complete reshuffle of this team's identity? But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. A shocking rumor has recently surfaced in the NBA world, shaking the dynamics of one of the league's most promising teams, the Boston Celtics. According to insiders, Sam Hauser, the versatile forward for the Celtics, has expressed strong dissatisfaction with his teammate Jason Tatum and reportedly no longer wants to play alongside him. This unexpected revelation has sent ripples through the Celtics fan base and analysts alike, as it threatens to disrupt the chemistry of a team aiming for championship glory. Sam Hauser, known for his sharp shooting and ability to stretch the floor, has been an important role player for Boston. His contributions off the bench have been vital in providing spacing and scoring opportunities in key moments. However, the rumor suggests that behind the scenes there may be significant tension between Hauser and Tatum, the team's superstar and primary scoring option. While the Celtics have built much of their recent success around Tatum's offensive prowess and leadership, it appears that this partnership might be fracturing. Sources close to the Celtics organization claim that Hauser feels overshadowed by Tatum's dominance on the court and the team's strategy heavily revolving around Tatum's style of play. Hauser's desire for more freedom and a larger role clashes with the Celtics' reliance on Tatum as the central figure. This friction reportedly culminated in Hauser stating that he no longer wishes to share the floor with Tatum, a bold and unprecedented stance given the team's goals. The implications of such a rift are profound. The Celtics have been one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference, and the Tatum-Hauser duo has been seen as a key component of their strategy. Hauser's discontent could undermine team cohesion and affect their performance as they approach critical stages of the season. It also raises questions about the Celtics' management and coaching staff. How will they handle this internal conflict? Will they attempt to mediate the dispute or consider moving Hauser in a trade to preserve team harmony? Basketball experts are weighing in on the situation, noting that while conflicts between star players and supporting cast are not uncommon in the NBA, outright refusal to play alongside a teammate is rare and serious. They point out that resolving such issues requires delicate negotiation and a strong leadership presence, both from the coaching staff and veteran players. For Boston, this might mean that adjustments in rotation, playing style, or even roster changes could be imminent to maintain a winning culture. Fans are divided on social media, with some expressing disappointment and worry about the Celtics' future, while others speculate that the rumor might be exaggerated or a strategic leak to gain leverage in upcoming contract negotiations or trades. Regardless, the tension between Sam Hauser and Jason Tatum adds a dramatic subplot to the Celtics season, one that will undoubtedly attract close attention as the team battles for supremacy in the NBA. As the Boston Celtics navigate this turbulent chapter, the basketball community will be watching closely to see how this situation unfolds. Will Hauser and Tatum find common ground to continue their pursuit of a championship together? Or will this friction lead to a significant reshaping of the Celtics roster and strategy? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The Celtics face not only the challenge of their opponents on the court, but also a critical test of their internal unity. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.